Hello and welcome. This is Peter Palmiotti of UNR Studio, otherwise known as Has Comics Dude. Welcome everybody, one and all. Um, my littlest one is out and about, so that's probably trouble. Hey, come say hi. Hello. Yeah. All right. Let's switch off. Ba, 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 ba. All right. What are we working on, little one? Trouble. I may call him Flash. We'll see. No, that's not the one. There we go. There we go. And of course, I gotta do stuff. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, so very shortly, I'm going to post a link to this so that people can join. So bear with me a couple of minutes. Oh no, you're trouble. You're trouble. Go over there. I don't know how it's going to work with this little kitty running around. I saved them from a fate out in the streets. Now I'm paying the price. But, hey, Jay. Hey, Jake. No, you're not helping. You're not helping. All right. Advanced. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. Hey, kitty is always trouble. That's right. But, welcome one and all. Sideburns is here. Salazar, I'm going up to past comments here. Salazar may make it in. Ryan Wynn may make an appearance. Mark Torres, aka It Came From the Radio, might make it. Nefarious, I hope he makes it. And so on. All right. No, you are in my face. Let's see, can I do? Yeah, I can do that. Okay. So that is ow. Attacking me. So this is the link, which I will pin. But oh no, not don't. No, okay, I guess I can't do that. Okay, anyway, click on that link if you wish to join. And we have Mr. J.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yes, I hear
you. Yay! Finally,
yay!
Another one. Peter, we talked about this cat addiction. You gotta stop. Come on.
Come on.
You gotta eat up your coax cables now. Come on, dude.
Could be. Yeah, well, I'm not 100% decided, but I am. There was recently I had that cat Molly, which was a gray tabby, and Molly decided to run off and go on his own adventures. Um, oh, where's my? Oh, I gotta clean my brush, I guess. Yeah, so Molly's no longer with me. This one I'm calling trouble for the time being. But we'll see. We'll see. And
Holla, Chief.
hello, welcome.
You recall me talking about the job I had to get? Well, I had to get the camera for it, so here we are.
Yes, indeed. Welcome.
Yeah.
So, most of the people on my channel know Jake. He's been on here before, but nobody has actually seen you before or know of where hence you come from. If you want to do a quick bio of yourself.
Who you're running over with? Me or Arcalian?
Okay.
You, Chief. You.
All right.
Yeah, we'll start from the top. Jake, tell people about yourself.
So, yes, my name is Jake Twister. I am a Norwegian comics creator and future entrepreneur, hopefully. I am currently working on 2 comics. One for the Discord, one for a Discord server called the AAA Community. We are releasing in the foreseeable future a volume or the next installment of the 9-Volt anthology, which will be thematically surrounding with manga as center focus. And the second project is a crowdfunder with the Comicsgate UK branch. It is with the Bargain Bin Association, and we're currently doing Twisted Fairy Tales, which is an anthology collection of adult fairy tales with a little bit of a twist to each and every creation. So we take already established stories, and then we take another spin on it.
Very cool. So you're keeping busy.
Oh yeah, I'm juggling. I'm juggling futures right now. I'm in the middle of a move, and I got a couple of personal matters up in the air. So it's a hectic summer, to say the least.
Right.
Isn't that always the way?
No. If we could always get it, so man, that.
Well, cool. Welcome, of course, for joining us.
Thank you.
As long as my internet hangs out, I'll have as many people as I possibly can. Once it starts slowing down, I'll start knocking people off. But you're welcome to hang out with us and talk about anything you want.
Knock people off. Ah!
Knock my socks off.
Yeah, well, not the mafia way.
I just meant off the stream. Ah!
So welcome. You've been in the chat plenty of times. We watched a bunch of my videos and gave play-by-play. But now here you are in person. So tell people about yourself and what you're up to.
Okay, well, yeah, sorry to crash the party, guys. My name is Jay McIntyre. I co-wrote 1 book, and Mr. Palmiotti has graciously allowed me to help him with one of his projects on the plotting side of things, and I am glad to do so.
Yes. And do you want to tell people about your Instagram, where people can find you, that sort of thing? Yeah.
My Instagram with absolutely nothing on it, you mean, except for 1 picture of myself, yes. Yeah.
He's a fiendishly social person.
A fiendishly what?
Social person.
Oh yeah. I'm just a real chatterbox. You can't shut me up. Totally. Yeah. I put my link in the Streamlab, and there's nothing there to see except one picture of me at a convention in happier times.
Right.
Yeah, I co-wrote one book, which like 7 people outside of my immediate family bought, and I have a DeviantArt page that almost nobody looks at. So, and I have written other things down the years.
Well, you got to start somewhere.
Yes. I don't suppose I should put the book link in the chat, should I?
You could, do it if you want.
By all means,
I'm not sure.
Pass it in private, and then I'll hook it up in the YouTube comments, because links will pass me, and then I can hyperlink them.
Yeah, what he said.
much appreciated, sir. Oh, now Sideburns has joined us.
Yes, Sideburns, otherwise known as Dan. Welcome.
Hey, good. How you doing? How you doing, Peter? How you doing? And everyone else, Kellen and Jake. Nice to meet you guys. Just testing my mic. That's all.
Yeah, I'm having to use the mic on my camera. The headset one is not responding for some reason. Fun.
I can hear you, I think.
Yeah, because the camera mic, not the actual headset mic.
Yeah. I had one of those, like the headset mic, but it was a bit staticky. But I just got the good old Blue Yeti here. So.
Blue Yeti gang. Well, I'm actually Snowball, so
I don't think you can have. Also, Peter, I don't think you can have like too many cats, in my opinion. Also,
I
I'll
can
drop
only
my
fit
links.
so many in my apartment.
Yeah.
Cyberns, you're in the Cap Mafia. Don't.
The Cap Mafia.
Yeah.
Oh man. What do I do? Control V. Control V. There we go. I'm just dropping my links in my. Oh. Does anyone want me to introduce myself or just?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
By
hey.
all means.
Hey, guys. Oh,
yeah.
Hey.
No, absolutely.
Hey, I go by Sideburns. So, hey everybody, I go by Sideburns on YouTube, and also I go by Dan. That's fair enough. But I'm a sort of a bit of a hobbyist comic book artist. I haven't done work for hire or work professionally, but I like working. I love working in comics, and I think I've been trying to do it more seriously for like 5 years now. And I have this web comic I recently completed called Chad Chihuahua, and I'll just I'll post that in the recently completed in the private. Oh, I can hear myself.
We got an echo.
Echo.
We got an echo, yeah. I have just posted that in the private. If like, hang on, but, oh, I can hear myself. I think I can hear. It's Peter's. Nice.
This is a test of the emergency broadcast system. This is only a test.
I had that yesterday, bro. It was.
This is an emergency.
This is a test of the emergency broadcast system. This is only a test.
Is that you, Jake?
That was me, actually.
Somebody has.
I thought I had two. I had the stream open and the one on StreamYard. I thought that was the thing.
No, it's Peter. Welmerink. He's not connected
The other Pete.
the other Pete.
Video running Pete.
No, it's Peter.
I can't even point. I can't even do it.
Oh, what a great.
Yeah, you. I can't even point. Oh, we lost him.
Oh, we
lost him.
No, don't worry, he'll come back. I'm sure he'll sort it out. It's all good. But yeah, I just I completed that back in like 2019. I think I posted it. Yeah, 2020 is when I posted the whole thing. It's basically a sort of adventure, like sci-fi comedy about a cyborg puppy and who meets this alien from an asteroid, and they become this sort of unlikely duo. And it's sort of based off like early like 3D platformers and like Crash Bandicoot and Sonic Hedgehog, and I had fun like creating it, and it's I think it's one of the first comic like projects that I completed. I like to get it printed sometime maybe this year. I'm not in a rush or anything, but I'm planning to self-publish for that for now. But in the meantime, I'm actually working on a submission for the 9-volt volume 4. I think it's for the manga, which is a manga 9-volt. Is it not me? I can definitely hear an echo, actually.
Yeah, it's other Peter.
The other Peter. What's in headphones? I think headphones will just solve it all. I think. But again, if you didn't hear all that, it's yeah. No, that's all right, man. I put my webtoons up in the private, but you're free to promote that. It's all of it is up there on Webtoons now, but right now I'm just working on a new story for the 9 volume 4 manga, which is and I'm hoping I'm actually. What's happening now?
Did that work? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
No, that's good.
Yes.
It seems okay. I don't hear any of the other echo or anything. But I'm currently working on this story. I can't seem. I would get my phone, my like set up and everything with the camera, but I
What's that,
can't
Chief?
seem to get that to work. But I can work on that while we talk about
Some madhouse.
Another hour or so on the computer.
All right, I might be chattering to some people socially on the headset. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
You don't have to worry
Might
about the
be.
volume like earlier, though.
Yeah.
Where was I?
No, this is great. This is awesome, man.
I'm playing Civ, so it's all right. Hopefully, this is going to be like a week-long outage.
What's this like on the stream?
So, Peter, welcome.
Hello.
Hello, Peter.
Can you hear me now?
Hey,
Yeah.
there you go.
So,
Yes.
Okay. Hello. Hello?
Hello.
Oh, I'm echoing.
Yes.
Anyway.
Introduce yourself.
thank you,
Turn
Jake.
the
by the
volume
way.
off the stream. Do not be on the stream at the same time as you're on the call. That'll be easier for you. If you got the stream up on YouTube and you're listening to yourself, turn the volume off there, and then you can speak.
Yeah, I closed out YouTube as soon as I got on here.
Now,
Okay. It's a highly professional affair we got here.
We try our best in earnest. Okay.
No, it's always going to happen eventually. Don't worry.
It's always that one, Ugh.
Yeah.
Just to get
Excuse me.
The technological blunders. Oof. And that for some reason we can't
so
hear.
awkward.
Oh yeah, other Peter is muted. Other Peter
hope
is
it's not
muted
me.
himself on the Oh no, he's cussing us out.
I'm like basically laughing. I'm just out of breath.
Oh,
all right.
Pete,
all right.
oh, okay, there you go.
Did you manage to solve the case?
Hang on.
Well, he's unmuted. Speak
How-
now for
how's that?
your piece or something.
Yep.
Yeah, I heard you. I heard you.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm the other Peter. I'm the other Peter. Awesome. And I got my second issue of my Big Jack comic book. And I'm still echoing. God.
Not like you were before, though. Now you just sound like you're in a big chamber.
We hear you. We hear you good.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
Just move your mouth and I'll speak for you.
I'm in a big chamber.
This ain't the Muppet Show, you know?
Okay. I got this.
I was kidding. I have no idea what you're going to say.
All right.
Hi, Nick. How you doing?
How do I turn this thing? I gotta figure this out.
I'm just here. It's all good.
Hey, I'm going to try something. I'm going to move people, but I'll bring them back. So let me see if this works. All right. So it's just
Oh, now.
it's just us. Yes, I hear you. The internet's a little slow. It goes in and out. But
I'm still doing something that's not right.
I hear you. Are you hearing echoes yourself?
I am.
Get Big Jake Animals on Kickstarter.
Jack. Big Jack. Not Jake. But Jake's
Jack.
the other guy there.
Too many J's
Yes.
around.
Jack, Peter.
Jake posted it, but it's Jack yeah. So how's your Kickstarter going?
About 54% funded, I believe, right now. So got like 9 days to go.
So go check it out, folks. Tell people a little bit about it. It's part of a bigger universe that you have going on.
So basically, I figure yep. Anyway, it takes place in a post-apocalyptic West Michigan. I figure why should all the other places have all the action adventure? And I'm getting this echo still, so I'm still not doing anything. But
I'm not sure why. I don't hear anything. I don't hear anything on my end. No echo. So, not sure why. What's happening? Maybe reboot.
How about this?
I hear good. I hear you good. I don't hear any echo.
Oh, no, I can't hear anything.
I hear good. I hear no. Oh. Oh, no, I'm hearing it. Yeah. Do you have YouTube up? Or is it just simply without headsets you hear the feedback?
Oh. Yep.
Oh. Bleep. Oh. We'll bring it back. I think maybe he's rebooting. No need to worry, folks. This is great. Lots of people watching. Lots of people doing.
Sounded like his only problem.
In the stream. I'll get the others up when
sounded like the only problem was he needed to shut YouTube off.
That was the case, I thought.
Yeah.
But yeah, elevator music, Cyburns. That was
Very apt. Yep. Cool. No, that's unfortunate, but he'll probably sort it out soon. Eventually. I had to get a mic before,
He said he got it, and he probably
like the headphone one or the just.
No, he got the problem, I think.
Okay.
If you're still listening, Pete, when you're good to go, wave your hand or something, and I'll let you back in.
Is that Spanish? I don't know.
Pizzazo. Oh, okay.
Isn't it an Aztec deity or something?
Okay. Are we good now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. You know what happened? Because
sounds good.
I'm older and technology. I got challenges. Anyway,
it's okay.
Yeah, I'm going. What do you mean? Turn my YouTube off? It's like, and I looked up in the tab, and it's like, oh.
I've had it on. Yeah.
I know you're laughing with me, not at me.
Yeah.
Hey, look, man, the only reason I got this camera is because a 9-to-5 job made me get it, so don't feel too bad.
Oh, there you go. All right. We got this now. I tell you.
The world's ready for you. Now,
right.
Shoot.
All right. So I did, I've been writing prose novels for quite a while now. And I created a little post-apoc universe that's set in Michigan because I figured, why should all the other states and cities, all the big cities, New York and Chicago and Tokyo and LA have all the fun? Why can't it be like a, little West Michigan town? Anyway, so I created a prose series of novels and short stories, and I had somebody approach me locally that Ryan Cummins, I think he was on here one time before, but he's another aspiring creator. And anyway, he said, do you have like he read the Transport novels and said, do you have a singular character that you might be interested in bringing into the, sequential art world of comic books? So, and I did. And so I suggested Big Jack. whose his story is where my transport universe stuff all happens in 2025 and 2013. The H7N9 virus created the zombie apocalypse, but in my transport world, we were rebuilding, moving forward, and then Big Jack actually takes place about 60 years in the future beyond that. So it's still the same world with kind of the same stuff going on, except no zombies as far as what we know. So anyway, Big Jack is basically about a family man that's just trying to keep his life in kids. I got a cat trying to get into the office. But, anyway.
Somebody knows what that's like, don't they?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah, the other Peter has some cats. So anyway, Jack gets into a little trouble when he goes on his bounty, tries to collect on this guy. The guy says, "You're not that tape man." Sweet.
Not his way.
There
Darn.
we go. All right. All right. Oh, she just wanted to get in the window. So anyway, so Big Jack is basically action adventure story about a guy that kind of gets on the wrong side of the bad guys. And I know I'm simplifying it a lot, but basically he's working on trying to get his wife and kids back as they've been abducted by this big maniacal thug, Darby Thompson, who kind of runs this little group outside the main city. Anyway, I suck at elevator pitches, obviously, but it's got some really cool art. Evie Cantata did the did the cover and the. Anyway, but Justin Birch did the lettering.
If you want to,
anyway,
if you want to open up the Kickstarter page, by all means, Peter. If you could figure out the technology behind it.
Hello, Jason.
Yes. Firebreaker Studios. We lost Pete.
Hey, Firebreaker. Hey, how you doing, Firebreaker? I recently got his minis in the mail along with Aaron Guzman, who also worked on them. His art is pretty neat. I like it.
Yeah, Aaron's great.
Yeah, I also posted about it on Instagram. So yeah, I promoted him there. Really good stuff.
Gibran, thank you, sir.
Hey, Gibran. Hey, Gibby.
Gibby. He's a personal friend.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, that's racially charged.
Today's not a good day.
I don't even know that's a slip.
Look, I posted a link on the private chat. So click on it, and you can share the screen
Absolutely.
from there in the hub.
Absolutely. What's the mini in? Well, mini.
Yeah, Guzman is really like doing tight work. I hear from all the other readers that have been picking up the minis from both Firebreaker and Guzman. Just tight stuff. Dead air, people. We can't have that. It's a
Oh,
stream.
here we go.
Don't.
Right.
Stop screeching, Jake. Again. Stop screeching again, Jake.
All right, here we go.
I call it a shake-up, all right? Want me to take care of it?
Oh, what are we looking at right now? Oh, okay.
Oh, what happened?
I saw a black bar on the screen. Like just a long black light screen bar.
It's very cool. I like that.
It's very cinematic, you know. I can see where they're going with it.
You know what? How about me sharing the screen? And you can just tell me to scroll up and down, all right?
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think my technical illiteracy is gonna kick in any hours, so don't have much faith in me either. Okay, I got the screen.
There it is.
All right, I'll get out of you guys' way and go back to YouTube.
Oh, there it is. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Oh, it's on the end. Okay, let me do the I can't do the conversion thing on sites, but it's set on Norwegian kroner.
Oh, nice.
So the sub looks a little bit more higher.
I work in quality, and that means not okay.
Okay, it goes for not
so
okay for a 13.
So actually, I think we're at about 1612 out of looking for 3,000 USD.
Yes.
And got about 9 days to go. And anyway, so basically, this is like I said, a big action adventure story. I know I mentioned it's based in a post-apocalyptic world, but it's actually the only thing that's running around are a bunch of just everybody trying to survive. And as we all know from last year, probably now, that the good and bad people shall arise. But there's also a few mutated critters running around in West Michigan that are local to the Michigan area in reality. So we have some, in the story, we've got some mutated wolves. The wolf cubs are about the size of a grown wolf, and so you don't want to run into them or their parents. And then this second issue, little spoiler, we're going to have a very savage porcupine. So, if you can't have fun. So, but so I got some art there. Some of the interior art by Evie Cantata. The guy, he's out of the Philippines, and he's done a lot of other work too. For I can't name any of the publications off the top of my head, but he's done stuff before, and I feel very fortunate to have him on the book, not only doing the main cover, but also the interior black and white work. He does amazing black and white. I mean, that's all him right there. So
That's nice work.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So Erwin Arosa is the I guess you could call him the standard variant cover artist. If you scroll further up there, yeah, right there. So I asked him, because I've seen him do like homage covers before, working with different people. And I said, what would be cool is that Mike Zeck Punisher cover. And so I got a picture of that, and then I sketched up my own little rendition of kind of what I was seeing Jack doing in the picture. So that's like a homage to the Mike Zeck Punisher cover from what was it, the 80s, mid 80s, was it? I think it was like a 6-issue series or something like that. So anyway, but that guy does amazing stuff, and I'm surprised he's not like, picked up by the big dogs, because he just does beautiful work. Anyway, so again, feel very lucky to be working with these guys. So
Is that the Punisher Warzone you're thinking of?
no, it's was it a 6-issue
Another.
series or something like that? Anyway,
There's 100 Punisher books at one time.
yeah, this was back in the early 80s, maybe something like that. So so every issue has a couple of pinups by some different illustrators than the ones that are doing the cover or the interior art. So got Bill Embill in here, and Andrew Budnick, who did this one right here. And you can see right here, it says, "Welcome to Pure," instead of Michigan, hell. So some pretty cool stuff. So I can only do stick figures. So, when it comes to you guys, this is beautiful work. So offering a Big Jack t-shirt, and so the first Kickstarter we did just had the Big Jack on the front, and the second one, we're going to have a 2-sided. This is my transport series that kind of started this whole universe. And one of the pledge tiers is you can get the first book, Transport Book 1, as part of your pledge, along with copies of the comic book and the t-shirt and all that stuff like that. So, and I'll probably even sign it. Then I have some retailer tiers. At the $50 tier, you get a certain number of books, including a black and white textless Erwin Rosa variant cover. And the retailer tier 2, you get a few more books. You get a few more books, including the blank variant and my illustrious PDW. That's my own little piece that I did there on that really complex art software, drawing software called Paintbrush.
I
think
it's good that
it's
good you're exercising the penmanship, all right?
Yes.
I'm not knocking you on that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
Shouldn't it be called Pixel Ship?
Pixel shit.
Yeah, technically.
Hey, I do some amazing stuff with that. So anyway, but and then at the $250 tier, actually, you would get a like a personalized Erwin Rosa black and white illustration to go with a personalized story of your choosing that I would write. So I offer like a 2,500 word plus short story with a character of your choosing in it. And the people that did it last time actually kind of picked themselves, and I asked them what things they were interested in or what they wanted to see themselves doing in the story. And then I created a story around that, and I had Erwin Rosa do an illustration. So this guy here wanted, he's in the steampunk, and so he sent me a picture of himself in his steampunk outfit, and I sent that to Erwin, and kind of had some fun with that, and had a fun short story. I went way over the 2,500 word limit that I said I'd write, because I ended up having so much fun writing it. And the second story here that I'm kind of showing pictures of to hopefully entice people with this second Big Jack issue actually was my half brother. He supported me the first time around, and we had. He said, "I don't care what you write, but we got to be together." So I said, "Okay, we're going to be a couple soldiers that get stuck outside of town, and we got to make it back to the base. And there's like hordes of killer savage squirrels that are chasing after us through the wilderness." So that's what you see on the periphery there that's surrounding us. Those are all chipmunks and squirrels. So again, had a lot of fun writing this. It's it's a semi-serious action adventure piece, but then you couple it with the Erwin Rosa art. It's a lot of fun. It's fun stuff, and I send a digital copy of the short story along with I use the Erwin Rosa piece as the cover art. And typically, if the people are somewhere on local, I'll throw that in a tube and send it to them. So local as in the continental U.S. So or I can work something out if you're in Norway. Hey, Also have some add-ons. Timothy Fling's Water Wars. Some added stuff if we get up to a certain level. I think 75% funded. He's letting me throw this digital copy of Water Wars 2288 in there, which is really cool. I told Tim to get on if he wanted to get on here. Anyway, and that's kind of some of the pages of that book that I'm showing people. It's really cool stuff. Really cool story. Kind of mashes up a lot of hordes of killer savage squirrels. Yes. Anyway, yeah. So that's that, and I got a couple other digital comics from some other people that they're going to share, and I get to throw them in there, and then also,
Looks gorgeous.
yeah. If I hit the actual goal of 3,000, I'm going to write. There's one of the characters in the story, Jack's old sidekick, Flory Larson. He was actually in the transport stories or timeline. So I'm going to, along with this illustration, provide everybody with a special short story. That'll be another, PDF that I send out to people. So that if we hit that 3,000 goal, then that's going to go out to everybody, including the other little digital comic books, the Water Wars 2288. So a lot of stuff to offer, trying to make this thing a reality. And there's this screwball here with a teddy bear and an axe. Yeah, that's. I don't know who that is, so can't talk about him.
It's your cat.
Yeah, taking the cat out back. So yeah, it's so
Funny cat moments.
Yes.
Very cool. It's a good looking book, and yeah.
I'd like to ask a question.
Like I said, it's a little halfway through, so go check it out, go share it out, go pledge.
Thank you.
All that good stuff.
So what are you working on there, Peter?
This is a little well-known book called Retro. It's my own creation. This is page 17, so it's a 28-page book. So I'm getting there slowly. Then I have to color it and do all production on it and all that jazz. But I'm getting this out this year, somehow, some way. I've been busy, working on a graphic novel, working on my friend's book, Hawk of New York, commissions, art pieces I got to do, blah blah blah. And also, just recently, I'm working at the cat sanctuary just outside of town because I can never get sick of the cats. So there's that.
Nice. Nice. So is retro like it's written and drawn by you then? Obviously, it's
Well,
drawn, but
yeah, the first issue is drawn by a friend of mine, Richard Fuchsia, and he's on Instagram and YouTube as Blueprints and I forget now, Blueprints and something. But he's a fantastic artist, and I'm so glad he did the first issue because I wouldn't have had the guts to do it myself. And he's gone on to do more illustration work and paintings. So he's not really interested in doing comics right now. But I had him on not too long ago, so you can go check out past video with him on it.
okay.
But incredibly sweet guy. Did an incredible job. And so I created the character and creating his universe. I'm writing the book. I'm inking the book, and I'll be coloring the book with issue 2 on, because I plan to. This will be an ongoing series. Hopefully, I'll make 100 issues or so. I plan to do everything, so I'll be penciling with issue 2 on, as well as everything else.
Yeah.
I got a letterer. I got somebody to help me with production, and that kind of stuff. But yeah, creatively, I'll be doing having my hands in everything.
Nice.
And Retro is the first of a bunch of heroes I want to create. But based on what the last couple of years have looked for me, I think I'll just stick to. I'm going to focus on getting a bunch of books out. Rena being the next one up, and a sketchbook and a couple of one shots, that sort of thing. Stuff I've been working on the side with before I launch a full-fledged superhero universe.
Right. I've got since I got into the comic book world as far as writing and stuff like that, I've hooked up with different illustrators and different writers, mainly different illustrators, where they were just interested in doing something. And most of those are older guys like us that just want to do something. So I'm like going, I'm game. And so I actually worked on some superhero stories. There was a character called the Green Mask, a 1940s character, and I revamped that character and created the new Green Mask, which is a female character now, but I used some of the characters from the original 1940s series, since it's all public domain now, and put those heroes in my story that takes place in 2021, so current. But they're like super old, and it's more light, humorous, but it's superhero stuff, and it's been a lot of fun. So doing Big Jack has also opened the door with networking with other creators, illustrators, writers, stuff like that. So it's pretty cool because I grew up with comic books, so actually working with them in them is pretty neat. So pretty exciting.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I get to meet so many new people via YouTube and Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, and definitely with the streaming I do here. And I also have my other channel, which I plan to get back to. Balancing my life is is always a challenge. My schedule changes day by day, depending on it's like somebody needed a page over the weekend, so I was working on that and trying to get chores done, and I want to take time off too to like breathe and enjoy life and find a sort of balance. But I'm always being like called on to hey, can you join us and hang out and
Right.
chit chat and whatever. But it's all good. It's it's really exciting time, and definitely appreciate all the love I've been getting.
Hey.
I don't know what it is. A bunch of my posts on Facebook have been actually getting some traction, which is kind of neat.
Hey, Peter.
Cool.
So what's
yeah.
this?
I wanted.
Yeah.
Hey, Peter.
Peter.
I just wanted to say it's been a pleasure to be on your show, and for the first time, and both your Peters. Yeah, it's been a great introduction, and to say the least. But I really enjoyed being on the show, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. But I have to go to work now. So,
Yeah.
Take care.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll catch
please,
you later, man.
Yeah, good to have
Yeah, good night.
Thanks for having me on.
Take it
Cheers.
easy.
Have a
Cheers.
good day.
My
See you,
pleasure. See you. So that was Sideburns. Go check out his YouTube channel. He streams working on his creations. He's
Sweet.
definitely a good guy.
Yep. And he's
So
from
what are we
Is he
looking at
from
here?
Norway?
No, Australia. I'm the
Oh,
Norwegian.
Australia. Okay, well, close enough.
The other halfway around the globe, all right? The other way.
Yeah. So I just threw up a illustration from one of the superhero stories that I was working on with an illustrator. This was my nod to my love for Silver Surfer, and her name is Silver Skady, and she's part of this new superhero team that I created called the Rougeettes. Not the Rogettes, the Rouge, like the color rouge, Rougeettes. And
Right.
Anyway, so, and again, this is a guy that the illustrator Steve Shipley, who just loves to do stuff. So he said, "What do you got for me?" I said, "Let me think about it," and came up with, so yeah, for sure. Very, very Silver. That's exactly kind of who she was supposed to be. But anyway, yeah. So that's kind of one of the fun things I'm working on. I'm working on the second installment to that story, and it's being published in Yeet Presents, which is out of Howell, Michigan. And they have a Patreon site that you can subscribe. I think it's like $5. When you subscribe, it's like a $5 monthly thing. And if they publish a comic, they'll charge you the $5. But if they don't, you don't get charged. But it's a cool, like an anthology comic book. And it's got superhero stories and sci-fi stories. There's all sorts of good stuff in there. So, and this is one of the pieces that is in I think issue 44 that just came out this month. So, kind of fun stuff.
Yeah, I don't know them personally, but I've seen them around, meaning the book, like they've showed off covers and stuff.
Yep.
So
Yeah, they're part of
definitely heard of it.
part of the old guys who love old comics group, I think. And anyway, which is there's a Facebook group which I highly recommend. They only talk about as far as comics stuff that was published like pre 1986, I think. So if you try to talk about something after 1986, the moderator will let you know that you're being naughty, and probably not post your post. But great group of guys, and a lot of those guys are also part of this Yeet, or I think it's called Fans of Yeet. That's the Facebook group, and anyway, and I think that explains where that whole name came from. But great group of people, guys and gals. A lot of creatives on there, both writers and illustrators, and so just a fun group to kind of hang out with. And really, I probably wouldn't be on Facebook if it wasn't for some of you guys, and because social media
Yep.
can sometimes take it or leave it. So
yeah, I'll take this moment to plug my group, which is Creator Owned on Facebook, and that's also my other channel, Creator Owned Comics, Creator Owned Comics Group, and that people can go and join and share their projects, share their works in progress, as well as crowdfunders and wherever copies of your book are being sold, and any promotional stuff you want to throw there. Somebody asked me not too long ago, like, are you still active in the group? It's my group. I created it,
right.
but I'm not too active in it. I add people to it. Occasionally, I look around, and if I see something that looks offensive, it's like I have rules there.
Right.
If it kind of rubs against the rules, then I might take it down. But for the most part, it runs itself. People just post there, and then other people in there to check it out and all that kind of stuff. I used to be heavily involved, but I didn't see the benefit to it. So,
right.
And I have.
I'm sorry. Is this the group of 2.6K members?
Is this the group? What?
Is this the group that has like 2.6K established in 2011?
Perhaps. It's been a while, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, because I tried press the link on the YouTube thing, but the uBlock just kicked in and said, "Nope, that leads to some that leads to some shady links."
My links are wrong.
Come on.
Oh, it probably kicked in because of the tiny URL.
Oh, okay.
Sorry for cutting you there.
It's totally safe. But yeah, I plan on the YouTube channel. I plan to do like one-on-one interviews where I'm not actually working on my own book while I'm talking to somebody. So, it's always a challenge to chat while I work here. But I focused 100 episodes ago. I focused my YouTube channel here on making progress on my own book. What it becomes after I finish the first issue, we'll see. But for the time being, I'm working on retro. Yeah, creator-owned and independent comics group. And you can go check it out and join it. I'll prove you if you legit. If you don't look legit, then I'm sorry.
You're out.
Sorry, I'm not.
You're out. I'm only interested in getting people who are making comics there. If you're making pinwheels or kites, I'm sorry, that's not the group for you.
Damn, I'm out because I'm anachronistic.
But so what else? Oh, yeah, I wanted to mention, like, since you were talking about like older comics and stuff, and guys and gals that love them, you know, Retro is a character I originally created when I was in my late teens, and you know, I've developed him throughout the years, and he's really a reflection for me now of comics I read from the 60s to the 90s. And, you know, I'm more a Marvel fan than anything else, but I've read, you know, like books from every company, essentially.
Yeah.
Even small independent comics and heavy metal and all kinds of stuff. Mad Magazine. So, yeah, it will take a lot from that. And you know, it's like, I think I said this recently. It's essentially like when heroes were heroes and villains were villains.
Yep.
There's not too much gray area
Right.
as far as my immediate plans. Yeah. And there'll be a lot of hopefully fun villains. Like the first issue is this guy called Diamond, which, you know, growing up, the local comic store that opened up was called Diamond Comics, so that's a little nod to them. And the next issue has a character I came up with called Button Man, and you'll see what his powers are when we get there. But that will be with the likeness of my brother Jimmy. So Jimmy's going to be a villain in my own book, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And
For you, maybe. Not
for me, yes. Well, back in the day when there was Marvel Comics Presents, he did a Ghost Rider story in there, and he took photographs of me and used my likeness in his story.
So
And I was just
now it's his time.
Yes, I was just a background character, and on top of that, I was just a bum. So
Nice.
this is my revenge. Yes.
Awesome. There you go.
But
Cool.
yeah, I mean, really, I'm really looking forward to finishing this issue and filling it up with joy and happiness and getting it out to those that already pledged to my very short Kickstarter that I had too long ago. But once it's in those people's hands, I'm going to do an Indiegogo that will be a full-fledged crowdfunder. It'll probably be 30 days. And then it'll be in-store after that kind of thing.
Cool.
But the issue totally will be 40 pages. It will be 28 pages of story, and then there'll be bonus stuff in the back. Yeah, it's like I've seen so many independent comics throughout the years. I literally read like tens of thousands of comics. I mean, 10,000 plus comics. And a lot of them, you know, like a good part of them were independent comics. And I have really a vision as to what makes an independent comic special and what I want to see in it. And hopefully people enjoy, you know, what I pack into it. And there'll be bonus stuff like stickers and magnets and whatnot, little prints and stuff that I already said I'll include in there. And also one of the things I'll be working on shortly after, probably closer to the end of the year, will be the 0 issue, which will be the origin of Retro's name, you know, in not how I came up with it. I just thought of a name, but not too much story to that. But how you know it takes place in the universe. So that will be fun too. I'm not, and the more I think about it, the more I want it to be a full issue. Initially, I was thinking I'm going to do a short story and people pledged to this campaign I had a while back that got me a digital tablet. But I'm thinking more that I might want to do it as a full issue, at least maybe a 20-page story or something like that. We'll see.
Nice.
We'll see. Don't nothing's in stone, but but it'll be fun.
I think some of the stuff that I've been writing. So I grew up with. First I grew up collecting. Well, not even collecting. I was just reading it. I didn't even know about collecting back in the day. But we might have talked about this before, Peter. But I grew up with GI Combat and Our Army at War, Sergeant Rock stuff, and I didn't get into the superhero stuff until later on. And but I think all that stuff influenced my writing. I know the military stuff. I've always been interested in military history, and that's kind of where the whole transport thing was. I wanted to write a story that was based locally, but in like a more fictional world, but with the military involved. But the superhero stuff that I'm currently writing is definitely kind of like you were saying, where there's a defined hero group, there's a defined villain group, there's not really any in between, and there's some fun stuff. It's not like totally dark and gritty. So it's definitely, I think, going back to what I grew up with when I was reading superhero comics too. There was suspense and intrigue and stuff, but there's also fun and there was heroics going on. So that's the stuff that I like also. So I'm sure when you put retro out, I'm going to jump on it because it sounds like something that's right up my alley when it comes to that. So
cool. Yeah, it's like it would be as serious as like comics back then got.
Mm-hmm.
Like they did get serious. They did have like issues where it was like a serious topic or just event in their lives.
Iron Man's alcoholism.
Yeah.
Which were cool.
But,
those were cool issues. So cool stories.
Come on, kitty.
Oh, trouble.
Trouble. Trouble's awakened.
Peter,
But,
I wonder if you
yeah.
come out with a new IP. It's called Catman.
Catman?
Yeah. Comic artist by day, cat herder by night.
There you go. Cat herder.
It's dawned on me that after the fact, like this issue is fully drawn, but somewhere in here, like there's a couple of pages where it's retro in real life, and there's maybe 2 pages where he's in his own apartment, and I'm thinking I'm going to stick a cat in the background, and that will be more of a character in later issues.
Nice.
Like Retro's cat, because you gotta have some animals thrown in there too.
Heck yeah.
Raining cats, dogs, frogs. I can understand like the dilemma of creating, especially when it comes like today, where that audience is just like shifted away from like purely black and white, sort of like to it, like it's unfavorable to call it 2-dimensional storytelling, but in the sense of having like the places of right and wrong and like gray zones and meeting of like clashing of egos and minds and all that stuff, it's way easier to write that stuff, and especially pack it in like a 32 pager or a 24 pager. I'm sorry, there's like this ridiculous clown just driving around with a motorcycle outside, and but it made impact, but I'm worried that audience demand has become so much like overwhelming in today's climate and such that it's only necessary. It makes sense to ask for it through crowdfunding, at least those type of like storytellings, so that people that treat it like boutique go around and like try to support artists or try to preserve that vision and got a mission to tell that kind of like storytelling for those old people and middle-aged people, because there are a lot of those too that are missing those days. You can definitely tell that they hate decompressed storytelling. I'm in favor of like both camps, but I'm young. I'm in my mid-20s, so I got less say on that matter than anyone else. And frankly, I'm not in the U.S. to speak on that. So it's but I can see from like both ends.
Yeah, it's I have a lot of love for like what came before, and I'll definitely be sprinkling all that into my books. But also, it's like I am a modern man living in today's world. So there'll be somewhat of that in there as well, because I'm not telling a story of the past. First, it's like it exists in today's timeline, but it won't be mired in today's world.
A granny love.
She's like our leader. She's like the Professor X or Splinter from Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtles. So so she'll have her. We had to have a leader of the gals. So yeah, those are
to me, my bitches. Sorry.
Yes. That's like something you saw in early like Action Comics or Batman comics.
Oh yeah,
Granny Love.
Granny Love. Yeah, what she's our second installment is they've been fighting this villain called Magma, Maggmaa, who has fallen to Earth, and so they're fighting this gal, and she's like a level 5 out of 5 power level, and Grammy Love in the meantime is coming across town. This is our second installment that I'm talking about. She's coming across town in like a senior citizen or senior home bus, senior center, and right as she pulls into town, I'm kind of giving the story away, but whatever. I mean, it's just us for now. Anyway, but the last panel is going to be her getting off the bus, and one of Magma's robotic sentinels, or called Sentry Prime, is going to be standing there. And I told Steve Shipley, the illustrator, I said, what do you think about drawing something like between a Celestial and like an X-Men Sentinel, or like the Iron Giant, that movie? So what do you think about something like that? So anyway, so our little Grammy Love is going to get off the bus, and basically there's going to be this freaking towering robot, and she's going to like be looking at the camera going, oh crud, or something like that. So and then we'll
I just pooped my pants.
Yes.
What she's gonna say.
She's her elderly diapers. Yeah.
Her adult diapers. So, but she'll kick ass. So we'll see what she does in the third and final installment of that little series. So, but that's fun. I mean, to me, that's the stuff again that I grew up with, that action adventure stuff, and yeah, it can be a little corny, but I don't know. I think we need a little corn in this day and
Yeah.
age, because people
Yeah.
are a little
Too much reality lately.
yes. So we need, and I think again that might be maybe the why you see all these. I mean, it seems like now I see more and more indie comics coming out, and even some of these folks that you see doing stuff in DC and Image and Marvel, they're doing their own stuff and throwing it up there on Kickstarter, and of course they wipe out the rest of us guys, but anyway, but it's kind of cool stuff because they're doing something that they love, and I think that's why people are attracted to all these crowdfundings and these crowdfunding campaign books. So there's something to it.
Absolutely. I did a post on Facebook recently. Whatever I said, I forget which one it was, but I've been talking about independent comics and who's making them and stuff like that. And Kelly Jones, he's done a lot of Batman. Mostly what he's known for, he does horror books. Phenomenal artist. And he responded like, there's so many independent comics now, it's hard to choose from.
Yeah, true.
And it's totally true. But I mean, like every fan out there has a budget. And I remember back in the day, it's like I was a total fan of everything Marvel, but I only picked up a portion of their books. And like my brother would pick up, whatever books he was picking up, and we just read each other's books,
Mm-hmm.
And so like, you could do that with independent comics too. It's like, pass them along to your friends, get them hooked.
I think it's harder in today's era in that there's a lot of not trade paper, but there's a lot of floppy releases. And that kind of like swamps the focus of a lot of creators in that they have to diversify themselves with a lot of product. It's not like under one or two companies, and with like a few few IPs like touching shoulders here and there and all that stuff. It's wholly separate worlds and all that. And so to create customer retention for them to come back and be properly invested in stuff is quite hard.
Mm-hmm.
In that there is now, okay, for example, you got Retro, and then you have Big Jack, two completely different IPs, and they got to wait a long time between every installment, between 6 months to a year, before to like get that. In the meantime, they got to like keep that in mind if they want to continue following with the story.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, there are still new books that crop up every single time, like every single month. There will be like different projects that are being like in the backlog for years. Like, for instance, Daphne Lage with her book, for instance, she's now releasing them on in like trade paper formats, and she had been working on that for like 20 to 30 years almost on her intellectual property. So there's a lot of like not only like different products that are floating around, like new concepts being pitched all the time, but there's also like people that are getting into game that have been not utilizing the crowdfunding campaign or ability or potential yet to reestablish a readership or get a new readership. So it's a scary, like, conflicting world that we're getting into when it comes to crowdfunding, and that's one of my like biggest turnoffs when it comes to the platform altogether. In that, I will have to like wait until it's collected, because that's how I read it. Because I'm not a floppy reader. I don't have a floppy market. I'm sorry to like admit that, but I don't go around actively supporting anyone because I just like wait until I get like a official sort of like release schedule in my mind, and then we'll see where it go from there. And if I do get interested, I will pick it up a couple of years later down the line if the project successfully like collects.
Yep. There's
Yeah.
that's what I've heard too, that the collected story or issues, in like a trade paperback, that's like the money book, really.
Yeah.
That so I totally understand what you're saying too. So, and I've been looking more into that too, as I've been kind of like, it's like I just can't keep buying the floppy books and stuffing them in a long box and having this stuff collect, and I've been kind of getting more into reading digital books, which are great. And then also, like you're saying, I've been looking at, waiting until the collected books come in like a trade, because usually too, with the trade, you get some added pages. And I always like those ones that give you like a chunk of the script.
Precisely.
Because I like looking at that stuff, because that's like reference material for me, so I can like see how the other people do it,
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
I'm totally understand that, what you're saying there, Jake. So
Yeah, I don't disagree with your approach as to what you pick up and waiting for the trades and all that. I don't.
Okay, big disclaimer here. It's just a personal thing because of my situation. When it comes to the market in the US, it's more viable for them to actually establish that kind of a trade commerce, because
Yeah.
you're doing everything like like either interstate or continental.
right,
So that sort of business works, but on a global basis, it doesn't like really work out in the same in the vein that paying shipping is also like a factor that you got to
Yeah.
consider. So it's a
Yeah.
bitch to like get books across the Atlantic.
yep.
So
Yeah.
it's nice to get stories, but in the sense of selling for the I wouldn't say like the lesser option, but it's an alternative nonetheless. In with a digital format, I'm not a digital format reader either. I'm strict physically. You got
Oh,
you
well,
got to get
Yeah.
you got it. I got to have my boobs,
I
Yeah.
was just gonna send you a private text to say that I'd give you a digital copy of the first issue of Big Jack, but now since you
I'm sorry. I shot myself in the foot there. You know what?
I'll still do that if you want, but anyway. No, I know what you're saying though. There's something about what I like to call ye old wood pulp. I love the feel of having a book, even a paperback. I mean, there's something about that. But then on the flip side, when you're kind of like a collector, also after a while, you're kind of going, I got too much of this stuff. I gotta,
Yeah.
am I reading it because I'm collecting the artist or the writer's work? Like I love Joe Kubert, and so like the GI Combat covers, the
Right.
Sergeant Rock, so and other books that he's done covers, and Tarzan and stuff. But then there's other ones I just read and I realize, why am I buying the physical copies when I'm just reading the story? I can read the story, digitally online, and when it comes down to that, I just realized that I like to read and I like visual storytelling. So do I need that floppy copy if I'm not actually collecting that title? So
Yeah.
anyway, there are lots of different avenues you can go down. So, but I get the having a physical copy of a book too. So there's some books that I'll read the digital copy and go, I need a physical copy of that, So
like one of my biggest complaints when it comes to this is that they don't focus on making a trade paper market that is viable for the old guys, because they're aiming for like more or less releasing it on essential formats like Marvel Essentials, or they're aiming for omni releases. which costs like
Right.
like a limb and an eye in a
Mhm.
sense, and that shortens the purchase option for people that are looking to get into backlog Marvel or DC or whatever.
Yep.
In that they will have to pay for they will have to pay a hefty amount, like two or three cipher numbers, and
I will say, like, single issues, like independent publishers, whether they be one person or a group working together, they do single issues because it's impossible to do a whole graphic novel,
Right.
worth of material without getting money to fund it. So they do issue by issue, and that makes sense,
yeah, I get that.
It's like, yeah, I'm interested in doing trades eventually, but really I'm interested in putting on single issues. So I may wait some time before I put out trades. So I want
Yeah, you
people
make
to
a
get
point
the
there
single
that
issues.
you make a point in that you need to see capital or like capital investment from
Yeah.
goodwill people and readers that want to be seeing your Arcalian.
See ya.
So the money has to come from somewhere. So having investors like that, yes, it is essential. But it goes in so far as to, like, for those that are those that wait for like a collected volume or so, they'll have to stick around and just wait and see if the ride is totally like done and dusted with. And that sort of it's not like to put me under like in his like some skeptic fence sitting position. It's just that I I'm young and I'm not financially strapped either because I'm buying comics like a motherfucker. But I mean, I'm outing
Yeah,
myself
man.
as like being a money pincher when it comes to all this stuff too. And I'm
Nah,
feeling,
man. I have friends who put out books, and I still haven't gotten their books, but I fully intend to. I have a list of like 20 books I haven't gotten yet, and here I am. I'm already pledging to new books that it's like I wish I had the money to really support my habit, but
Yep.
but that's always the case. It's like back in the day when you get 4 or 5 comics for $1, I still wanted more.
Mhm.
But it's also I'm trying to balance, not putting all my money to everybody else's thing and
Right.
focusing on putting it into my company and what I do. So there's that business aspect of it too, but
exactly, creative enterprise.
yeah.
And unfortunately, I wrote a 3-issue Big Jack story. So now I did that first one, and so now I'm committed, and so if I would have done one, I would have been fine. But I said, oh no, I want to beginning, middle, and end. So 3-issue. Everyone says that's a good number to shoot for. Because a lot of these books out now too, even from the big guys, they're 5-part or 5-book stories. They're all contained in there, and obviously they're doing that now because they realize, hey, I can put those into a trade and sell them to my buddy Jake.
The problem there for the big two is that quality content, despite the
Right.
amount.
Yeah, if they put
And I think that you are like on the are like in the long game, but you're doing a favor in that you're creating quality content with those 3 issues.
right.
Because tighter writing and tighter the more time it like takes to bake itself in the oven, the better the content and quality of the content it become.
Yep.
So you're like to sell that idea to readers is more important than to say that you're competing with them in the trade game.
Right. Yep. Yeah.
because they've fucked themselves like unscrupulously with bad editing, bad management, and putting misplaced people in different positions.
Yep.
It's all like it's all bring back Jim Shooter. Come on.
Yeah.
Or like a caliber
work-
that can really like get the head out of the ass, sort of.
Yep.
Yeah, I worked for both of Jim Shooter's companies briefly, but Defiant and Valiant back in the day. Loved Jim Shooter. I loved his writing. Like, he was a good editor in chief. He's probably an excellent editor in chief. If I go back and look over the titles he was editor in chief of, but he was an excellent writer. And there's certain people I look to. Like, there's no doubt. Like, Chris Claremont was an excellent writer. He's a little heavy, for the average reader. Especially, I don't even know if he's working nowadays or whatever. But his X-Men stuff was very heavily scripted. But it was a book I got freaking excited to read because, I could sit down and read it from cover to cover, and it take me more than 5 minutes. It was like, and it was worthwhile, and it got me so excited for the next issue. It's rare with comics, and that's what I want to try to do with my comic retro, like to like have that ongoing thing where you just like really want to see where it goes, see how it develops, get introduced to new characters and new stuff going on. Much like life, always be excited about life.
Exactly. I've been reflecting that myself too, in that I'm going to move from a place that I've been sticking around for a while, like 4 or 5 years now, and there's definitely like a lot of weight that has come into it. But I always think to myself, like, well, path is diverges, but they'll nevertheless they trace back in a way, and it's a sad thing, but hey, you gotta appreciate it that you got the chance, and that there are still like a lot of opportunities ahead, and you can be assured that when you wake up every day, at least you're not 6 foot under.
Yep.
Absolutely. And if you are, then dig really fast.
There's another life. There's another life over at the other side in China. Okay.
Yes.
So it's
Look at that guy.
hey. You're way taller than Jim Shooter. How is that possible?
Yeah, I know. Wait till he stands up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
I met-
forgot he was like that. He was big, isn't he? Like
Yeah.
He's giant.
he's like
Six-
6'4", 6'5".
I'm 6'1", and he's still taller than me. He's a big dude.
Yeah.
So nice
I only met
guy.
him once. I only met him once, but he was coming out of the elevator into the Defiant offices, and I was actually heading out, so I passed him. But I was like, "Holy cow, he's tall!"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that picture was from the Capital City Comic Con over here in Lansing, Michigan, and before, and I got a vendor's table there. It didn't sell anything. It really sucked. But right down the hallway was Jim Shooter, Larry Hama, some other guys. And so before the show actually started, I went down and I said hi to Jim Shooter. And he was like the nicest guy. I didn't really know what to say to him because I'm like, Jim Shooter, But so, and I think I had him sign my breast, but no. my man boob. But no, we were just talking about stuff. He was telling me what he was working on, and then we started talking about, I don't know, his daughter. So he just started talking about family stuff. I'm like going, I'm nobody, and you're talking to me about like just regular stuff, and it made me realize, you know what? We're all human, you know.
Yeah.
So, and I just thought that was cool. And then later on, I went down and said hi to him. I saw him at the Grand Rapids Comic Con in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And what I thought was amazing, you know, because I mean, I didn't act like a fanboy. I just acted like, hey. But he remembered me from the Capitals, talking to him at the capital city. Maybe I was wearing the same shirt. I don't know. So, but we talked a little bit, and he gave me his business card, and he flips it over on the back side. He goes, if you get a hold of me, don't use the email that's on the front of the card. Here, I'll give you this one. And he gave me like a different email than what was on the front of his business card. And I'm like going, oh. So anyway, and I actually did email him one. I sent him a digital copy of Big Jack, and he actually did respond. He said he'd check it out when he had time. So that's never going to happen, but still, it's a cool story. It's a cool story.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
anyway,
That's awesome.
Just a cool dude. I also had Larry Hama. I had one of my book props is a tank for my transport books, and it looks like a GI Joe tank, but it's not. It's like a knockoff, and I painted it up and added some stuff to it. But I took it down to Larry Hama and I said, "Hey, Larry, could you sign this tank?" And he's like, that doesn't look like a GI Joe tank. And I'm like, anyway, he signed it on the side of the tank, and anyway, and he was kind of cool. He was busy talking to people and stuff, so I didn't stick around. But anyway, so I basically have a non GI Joe toy tank signed by Larry Hama. So
he signed a GI tank.
Yeah, he signed it. This is not a GI Joe toy. Quit trying to fool me, you punk dude. So, but
I'm trying to make a living, you bastard.
Yeah, get away from me. It's not GI Joe. So, anyway, I think I looked up at the ceiling when I said, "Is this a GI Joe? This doesn't look like a GI Joe toy." It's like, just sign it, dude, and I'll be on my way. So, but just another human being, you know. So people get really crazy, and they're afraid to talk to these guys, and they're all humans. They're people. So
you know, it's like there are definitely creators I want to go up and talk to, you know, and then there's another set of creators, and it could be a lot of the most influential creators I knew their work growing up and stuff, but I have nothing to say to them, but I just want to see them. So it's like, it's okay not to go up and talk to them. It's like, I saw Jim Stalin, and I love Jim Stalin's work. Warlock was phenomenal, and everything he worked on. Fan of his artwork, fan of his writing. Yep. And I just saw him at a convention. You know, I probably saw him a couple of times, and it was just like enough to see him, you know, across the way a little bit. And you know, because I'm not one of those guys that, you know, if I get burned, that I feel bad about it or anything. Because like they only have seconds to like give you a great experience or a bad experience, really. And you know, not every experience I had with a professional was great, but it didn't bother me. In fact, you know, I laugh about each and every one of them, because like one of my earliest, biggest influences, especially with inking, was Bernie Wrightson. And I was at a convention where my brother was tabling. I was probably tabling too, but I walk around a lot. And so I went to my brother's table and started talking to him. And my brother's like, "Look around." And I look around, and there's Bernie Wrightson right behind me. And I say hello, and he's like looking past me, like he doesn't even see me. It's
Right.
like, and I turn back to my brother. He's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. Yeah, that's Bernie."
Right.
It's like, he's got his brain somewhere else. But
Bernie spurned me. Right. See, and those, like you're saying too, some of those guys. I went down to the Chicago Comic Con, like back in the early '90s, and all those guys were there. Bernie Wrightson and just a bunch of like big names where, and I don't think I appreciated those guys until after the fact, and I'm like going, oh my God, this is what these people did. So, and then I was like, oh, I think I got his autograph someplace in here. Or, anyway, and so and now these guys are gone. Bernie's gone, isn't he?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Is he?
I think so.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I got
he passed away.
I crossed wires now. Sorry, I was thinking of another guy now. Sorry.
Yeah.
Bernie Sanders is still alive.
Exactly.
No, I thought of Barry Windsor Smith there for a moment. Sorry.
Yeah.
Barry Smith, yeah, he's still alive.
He's still around. Yep.
Yeah.
His stuff is
Wrightson's passed. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
His stuff's great too.
There's a guy I met Barry Smith at a convention, and I was like, I walked up to him and I said, "Me and my brother are big fans of your work." And he goes, "Who's your brother?" "Jimmy Palmiotti." "I don't know him." It's like, okay.
That's funny.
But it's like 99% of the time, my brother's already met everybody.
Right.
Like everybody knows my brother. It's like, but I got to meet another one of my big heroes was Pete Craig Russell.
Mm-hmm.
Love his work, and I did. It was like a soldier's book. I forget what it was. It's just like it went to some soldier charities. It was a book I did years ago, and so I contributed to it, and so did Pete Craig Russell, and the guy that sort of put it together had a few pages of his work, and called him up and said, if you want these pages, you can swing by and pick them up. So that's what he did. He showed up at the door, and I got to say hello to him and speak to him for a little while. Then I told my brother, he's like, "Yeah, I never met him." It's like, "Oh my God, I met somebody you don't know."
I met somebody you didn't know. That's awesome.
Yeah. So that was cool.
I got to hook up with William Mesner Loebs.
Nice.
And he's somebody that actually lives over here in Michigan, and he's like good friends with the guy that puts that Yeet Presents out. And so I asked the guy Mike Jones who puts Yeet out, since he's like tight with Bill, I said, there's a comic book store here that's having I forget what it was, maybe their 3 or 4 year store anniversary or something. They had some event where they were going to have writers and artists, and I said, is there any way that I could get Bill over here? I mean, we'd pay for him to come over and all this stuff, come to this bookstore. and he said, "Sure, I don't know if we had to pay him anything, but anyway, he came in. Mike Jones drove him over, and it was just cool." And I was tabled right next to him at this comic book store here in town, and again, it was just a human experience. We had so much fun just talking. Of course, I bought like a whole bunch of the issues that he had, Flash that he had written and some other stuff. But anyway, but it was like it was a great experience just hanging out with this guy that I had read his stuff, back in the day. So just to meet these guys and
Yeah,
cool stuff.
totally. Yeah, it's like I met plenty of people in the industry, and because of my brother's success, more people know than probably would. But I made enough of a name for myself to get by, and
That's
hopefully,
Yep.
yeah, hopefully with my own creation, I can really blow the doors off, kind of thing.
Yep.
So I'm thinking nobody else new has shown up. We've been going almost 2 hours. So I think let's wrap this up.
Okay.
So Jake, you were here first. So let me kick you off. No.
Thank you.
Oh, snap.
Tell people where they can find you, and whatever upcoming projects you want them to take a look at, by all means.
Sorry, I was just noting down my my extensive catalog of comic books. But when I'm not doing that, I'm trying my best to create my own. You can find me on Twitter with big letter J, big letter T, and V, not W. Ister, J Twister, on or just type up J Twister, Jake Twister on Twitter. Sorry, I'm really messing up with my bilingual now. So you can find me there, and you can be up to speed where with what I'm doing, project wise, or if I'm harassing old people. You'll probably find me on like different types of streams, especially on Peter, whenever I can like catch them when I'm not asleep. Other than that, yeah.
Yes, I see Jake's everywhere, the streams, and hang with a whole bunch of new people.
Yeah, I'll definitely look you up, Jake.
Oh, don't look up under my skirt, please.
Okay, no problem.
Thanks.
And the other Peter,
Yes.
you can go check out
working
his
on
Kickstarter, Big Jake.
Big Jack. It's
Come on.
Big Jack. I haven't written Jake's story
I keep
yet.
saying Jake.
I haven't written Jake's story yet.
It's Jack.
Jake,
That's
Jake, you're next.
that's the sequel.
Yes. Yeah. After the 3 issue, there's Big Jake. So yeah, we got Big Jack issue 2 on Kickstarter right now. That goes through July 2nd, I believe. A little over 50% funded, so looking to hopefully reach that goal and pay off all these people I owe money to actually get this second issue out there. The other stuff that I'm doing is for Yeet Presents. You can find them on Facebook, fans of Yeet Presents, I think. But you can find me on Facebook at P. Welmerink. And I believe I'm on Twitter with the same handle. So I'm on there. I've got 27 followers on Twitter. So it's a lot. So 27 whole. So
Hey.
Anyway, but yeah, and always working on different projects, either prose books and stories, or now doing these awesome comics, the visual storytelling. So
Yes, absolutely. And you could go check out his Kickstarter. The link is in the chat. And there's a bunch of links in the chat that people have been providing, mostly Jake, and I appreciate that. And yeah, this is what I've been working on. This is a character, kind of lousy criminal guy, much like Turk from Daredevil. Anybody know that character? So this is my fun character that Retro's gonna have fun with in issue 1. And you can keep track of my progress here on my YouTube. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. If you want to support the channel, become a Patreon. Always give my videos a like. It helps it get seen across the YouTubes. And share my videos out. If you have friends who are interested in independent comics or interested in making them, then throw them my way, and maybe I'll have them on a future episode.
yeah,
But yeah, this has been a fun event, regardless of all the technical issues earlier. That's usually to be expected here.
Wasn't it just one guy? Wasn't it just one guy that was having the
Yeah,
issues?
I think we got rid of him
Could be.
pretty early on.
So, hey, thanks, Peter, for having me on, and great to meet you, Jake. And I'm sure
My pleasure.
Likewise.
we'll be hooking up here. So thank you guys.
And
I appreciate
thanks to everybody who came to join me for my 100th extravaganza. It was definitely that, and lots of fun. And until next time, take care, everybody. Be productive and be a friend. And I always have to